This is so... I just can't believe how
Basically, a lot of what you'll see of my images, it's all very experience driven, and what I care about is that you, the viewer, whether you're viewing my prints or in a magazine, can connect emotionally with what I'm trying to say. So there are a lot of, you know, quote unquote beautiful pictures, but there's more going on in there than that, and I will point out some things in a few of the pictures. I mean, the perfection of the timing of the moment, or in some cases like animals in Africa, something that nature has given as a perfect composition, and that's what it's all about that I'm trying to capture. And if you read each one of my prints, there has a story behind the image, and I also had a mission statement up front there. And essentially what I said was, I consider myself a citizen of the world, and so when I go to these places, I can not only say, you know, I photographed in 70 countries, and I've been here, and I've been here, and I've been here, but it's more about the experiences I've had in these places, and because as a photographer you can connect so deeply with the people you meet and also with the places that you're visiting, and if I don't make that connection, then you can't vicariously have that connection to my work. So that's really what my work is all about. I have about 250,000 images in my files, and I have over 20,000 images online. I'm on about 6 different sites. I have agents in the United States, Europe, and India, and then I have 2 websites of my own. Some of you may have visited those already, but that you can really get a pretty good idea of what I'm doing just by going on your computer. And so basically, you know, the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, while I'm going to show you a few examples of my work here, there's just so much more. And, you know, in 35 years in my career and in doing 70 countries, I've photographed every imaginable situation. This is the bridge here, and it's really long, and you have all sorts of people moving along. But at some point, with the sun just about to set, this woman came. She stood in silhouette, she turned front, she turned silhouette as if I was directing her, which I would have if I had a walkie-talkie, because I've done things like that. But this is absolutely, you know, fate of the, you know, me as a photographer being prepared to capture what I'm offered, but someone coming and doing absolutely what is perfect within this composition, and the sun about to set. You know, so, and me, I don't have time to think, gee, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? What lens am I going to use? It's boom, I'm ready. And now this is the San Blas Islands on the Caribbean coast of Panama, and these are the Kuna Indians. And I was dropped onto this little tiny island, not bigger, much bigger than this gallery here. And my guide was supposed to come from Panama City. He's like, oh, I come tonight, you know. And so I'm dropped in here with all these people, and you know, I just walked around and, you know, kind of worked it by myself. There were no other, you know, Westerners or tourists there. And, you know, like they were, you know, they're cooking. It's really hot, and I just make I'm very confident about, you know, kind of approaching them. I'm respectful, but I don't have any problem getting in close to people. And so, I mean, this is all for real. And, you know, this is the kind of experience I'd like to highlight here that is kind of all about what I do. I mean, I'm not on Carnival cruises or whatever. I'm there with 2 Kuna ladies and 2 kids, and we're rowing across, you know, the Caribbean, and this is what it's all about. And the pace of we're going very slowly, but the color and again the scene is changing, and I just love that stuff. Now this also is like the typical little perfect island in the Sandblast Islands, and again, serendipity happened. This is a dugout canoe with a sail on it. These guys just came in, and I photographed them right across the scene. This is again the idyllic island experience, and it's been in Time's website and all sorts of places, and they can choose from literally hundreds of thousands of pictures like this, and they choose. This is one of my own personal favorites. I have a print about the same size on the wall at home, and just the eyes on the leopard are pretty amazing. Again, the natural composition, they're all perfectly facing the same direction, and then again the bird. And usually, in fact, one jumps and everybody else watches. But I've got like groups of up to 15 or 20 Maasai jumping at the same time, and they're having a good time because they're good at jumping, and they're having a good time. The end, like the last page in the magazine, just something like this.
Oh, perfect.
Now, this one was the main homepage on the Bing website, the Microsoft website a few months ago. But to me, it all kind of sums it up. I mean, it just has that kind of Garden of Eden feeling to it. This is, again, walking. These Maasai were herding their cattle, and I just walked a mile with them down the road to see what they were doing. And then, this is like dust has caused all that to pick up. But there's a lot of color out there in the world.
Yep. A lot of pictures.
Now, these are eland, and you'll notice that the zebras and the eland are staying together. They're doing it for their mutual protection, and you can see how each one is facing a different direction. They're actually being tracked by lions who tried to attack them unsuccessfully around that time, but that's what they're doing. They're all keeping watch in a different direction. And, this was an amazing thing. There was a whole pride of lions and in deep grass, and we're going along in safari vehicles, and you could see the cubs bounding out of the grass, and I'm like, stop, but fortunately, you have these mounds so that you can see them through there. So yeah, this is a shot that we had online, but yeah, this is just me up for sunrise at Masai Mara in Kenya.
What are you in?
In a hot air balloon. Yeah, and the thing is that for those of you who like photography, I mean, there's such an unusual perspective of shooting from the air, whether it's a balloon, but the problem with the balloon, it's very gentle, but you can't tell it to go over here. You're going with the wind. But I photographed a lot from helicopters and fixed-wing planes, and it just gives you another view of the world that you wouldn't see otherwise. This is Cape Town. Outside Cape Town, South Africa, and it was just raining in torrents, but occasionally you get a rainbow, and then it starts raining again. Then vineyards. This is some of the really heavy-duty weather that was going on.